Hello, dears. Yay. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I love you're in me. And in that, what a joy. Those of you new to the work, what do I mean when I say I love you're in me? There's no woo-woo there. You are who I believe you to be. It doesn't matter what you say or do. Who I believe you to be is who you are in my world to me. So I am who you believe me to be. So how many hundreds of thousands or millions of Byron Katie's are there? Nothing I can do about that. I'm your neighbor. You're my neighbor. There's no distance other than what I am thinking and believing. And I don't think, I think I love them. No, I test it. Everything you do that doesn't suit me, I see you as my neighbor. I judge my neighbor, write it down and ask for questions and turn it around. In other words, I question what I'm believing. I test it. I could be right, but I'm going to test it, especially if it brings on this emotional and that, oh my goodness. So what world do I live in? So far, so good. Where's my proof? I'm looking around. Other than what I'm thinking and believing. My office could use a little scrubbing down, or not so much scrubbing down. I think that's okay. But the clutter, oh my gosh, Stephen's books over there and my this and that. Oh, what a dream. What a dream. What a dream. What a dream. And I love this dream. So, knowing me, I'll straighten it up. I'll straighten it up a little bit, not because I have to. This is my world. This is my world. You have yours. I have mine. But I can't. I'm too rushed. I don't have time. I hear that. And is it true? Is it true? Oh dears, I see. Oh my goodness. Let's see. I'm pulling up my iPad. Just okay. Nimit, you have a question.
Hi, Katie. Thank you so much
Hi.
for chatting. I love you so much.
Oh, sweetie, that's I love that you love. That is, oh my goodness. And it doesn't matter, you could put my name on it, but that's yours, and I'll take it.
All right, wonderful.
Thank you.
I did a workshop with one of your facilitators here in Calgary. It was amazing. Found out what I was ashamed about, cracked everything open, and the shame is that I cannot function. Like I cannot function, and this is what I wanted to ask you: is what when the work becomes so overwhelming, or we're using it to avoid things. And I'll just say, I came on here and did a worksheet with you when I lost a lawsuit at a university, and you helped me get very anchored. You mentioned all these solutions, but I didn't say I've got mother issues.
They showed up in your wants, needs, and shoulds. I'm no gypsy here with a globe. They show up in your wants, needs, and shoulds from the worksheet.
Yes.
When you turn them around, there they question them and turn them around. Oh my gosh, there's all your wisdom and direction. I just want to point that out to everyone that I'm not anyone's solution, because the solutions I found were in me, just like they're in you. Anyway, go ahead, please.
Okay. I have mother, father, what I experienced and wrote the lawsuit around. This election has just added a whole new dimension of sickness to my being. I had done like maybe 10,000 thoughts 10,000 inquiries on mother, father, at Harvard, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Finally got to a reference point, but still realizing I can't function. And my intuition has been like, you've got to get out of your parents' home. Like, I'm unemployed, living with my parents, like all this PTSD. I witnessed like a Harvard professor use a Harvard doctor and the police to involuntarily commit a student who raised questions about research integrity. And this has been sitting inside me, and I feel like with this whole election, like I didn't do my part, I didn't speak. So I just have so much of the work. I could just die. Like I can't. I just cannot function.
Yeah.
And I try to do more work today on my dad, and it just can't get back to a reference point. Can't tap into wisdom. I can't even get to, is it true? Like I just
honey,
can't.
Call that facilitator in Calgary, and if that facilitator is not available, we have certified facilitators on thework.com on the helpline, and all of you, it's absolutely free. We don't put you on our mailing list. We're just there to hold you in self-inquiry. And thank you all for your contributions when you come into our Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday that support BKI to support. Honey, here's the short version for all of you, other than what you're thinking and believing in any given moment. Go back to your most horrific moment and identify, get in touch with what you were thinking and believing in that situation. In that situation. And notice, other than what you're thinking and believing, were you okay? Were you okay? My guess is yes, because here you are. So right now, sweetie, Nimit, other than what you're thinking and believing in that situation where you were so upset, where were you? Where were you sitting or standing? Where were you? You're in your folks' home and you're thinking and believing, and what room were you in? What were you standing or sitting? Get anchored when you were upset, even though it could have gone on all day. Just anchor one place.
Okay.
Now, where are you?
Like
That
I'm
place,
seeing
physically.
Yeah. So like in the memory where we're anchoring?
Where you were angry,
Yeah.
and depressed and upset over what you just shared
Yeah.
with us.
Okay. So like a recent one was where I didn't want to watch the election results, and I knew that my parents were in support of Trump, but we're in Canada. I voted. So anyways, I come into the
Voted
kitchen.
differently.
Yes, I voted differently. And yes, I came into the kitchen and just kind of feeling a bit down. And my dad comes in and puts his arm up in the air, or a fist up in the air, and he's like, "Trump won." And that's sort of the anchor moment. Yeah. Yeah.
So and look what happened to your head the moment he said he won and threw his hands in the air so joyfully.
I know, and I did some work
No,
around that. I'm like,
don't
oh,
know. Just notice your dad. Notice his
yeah.
joy. As Americans, we voted. We voted. That's a privilege. It's like when I lost, I won. States of mind. Now notice when your dad did that, notice how frightened you became or resentful, and you want to move out and you can't stand it, and they're wrong and you're right, and notice the doom in your head. It has to be there. You're so invested. You see the doom?
I do see, I see that exact collision point where the arm goes up and he's like Trump won, and then that's all him, and then all of a sudden it's all me, all my head, and it's hell. It's all that evidence. It's like I just saw a job
Honey, I'm
posting for
asking
war
you
games.
what
I saw this.
evidence. I'm asking you what evidence in your head. It's not the work I offer. If it's, oh, it's all in my head, that's not my work. That's guessing. Self-inquiry and guessing are universes apart. They appear to match sometimes, but there are 4 questions there. And one of them, you're just like the rest of us. You're in a trance. You see like all these terrible things in your head, and you think that's the future, but no, that's your head. In that, it doesn't mean those things are not going to happen, but what is the cause of your fear? Is it those things happening, or is it your head and what you're imagining about the future? What was the cause of your suffering, your resentments, your fear?
In that moment, it's just what the head.
What did you see?
My head.
Be there. Yeah, it's all in your head. Let's all just get that established. Yes, that's wise to understand, because that is where it's at. So what was going on in your head? That would be this work in that situation in the kitchen. Your dad raises, he's jubilant. And,
Yes.
and what was your thought?
I saw the image that came up was Nazi Germany with people lifting their arms into the air and saying Hail Hitler.
And saying Heil Hitler, okay. And then what is your idea about that was going on in your head in that situation? There were other images other than Heil Hitler, because so far that's not scary, without the rest of the images that were in your head in that situation in the kitchen. Okay. Now, notice how you react, all that resentment. You shared with us that you didn't use the word resentment. That was mine, but your animosity, your fear, basically. And rightfully so. Look at your head, you innocent, precious. Look at your head. Now, be there now in that situation. And that 4th question, who would you be without the thought? And this isn't say, ignore it, get over it. It didn't happen. No, that's not this work. Just be there now, minus what the ego offers up, images, and how it compares the past where everything was working, etc., to your mind. You see that in your head, the ego's world, past, future, it is showing you what isn't now.
And it's a lot of images, just like it's a whole storyline. It's just
terrifying.
It's terrifying. It takes us all the way through. It's terrifying. It's just terrifying.
Okay, so stay in the kitchen. That would be this work. Stay in the kitchen. Now look around you. Who would you be without the thought? Close your eyes. Stay in the kitchen. Look at your dad. Get connected. Look around. Are they coming to arrest you or anyone else? Are they, just look around at the grace. You're okay. Other than what you're thinking and believing. That question, without fooling yourself. Who are you without the thoughts? Without the ego imagining you here, you there, the human race here and there, etc.
I feel like a nobody and annihilated, to be honest.
Well, how can you feel annihilated if you're present, looking at your dad? Is the ground holding you?
Mm-hmm.
Are you okay in the kitchen? Is there any harm at all? Anything threatening you there? Like Anything terrible going on other than your dad's happiness?
It's just my fear.
No, it's just the images in your head. You're tranced. And what is the effect of that trance? Fear. So what you're experiencing is you're sitting in the movie the ego offers up of the future, and you're really into it. You're terrified. You're a believer. And now take it out of your head, try to touch it, try to touch, you can't. It's imagination, and you don't have a lot of control over it. The ego's not going to go away, but we can invite it. We can invite it to show us the cause of our suffering, which is what it's offering up in that situation while you're safe in the presence of happy parents. And a kitchen where there's food and there's shelter and there's everything you fear you're not going to have, which costs you the awareness of what you freaking have. You can't function, is it true? That's your one-liner. You can't function, is it true? Who would you be without the thought? I can't function. I just stand in the kitchen.
Yeah, I just be making myself my tea, getting my breakfast ready.
Yeah, you know what I love about that discovery is it brings you back into the real world. In the moment, your life in that situation, safe and sound. In reality. Now, if they're walking you off to a death camp, you're standing in line, no way out. They shoot people that get out of line. Other than what you're thinking, all of you dears, other than what you're thinking and believing, are you okay? And check it out, don't you? Oh, it's like airy fairy. Yeah, I'm okay. No, that's not this work. Be there now. This is facing fears. You're checking out what's true and what's not, the cause of suffering. So you're in line, no choice. People are telling you something's going to happen. Something terrible is going to happen at the end of the line. Okay, so who would you be without the thought? I can't function. Okay, be there now. Other than what you're thinking and believing. In other words, other than the ego's images of past, future to terrify you, and the past where it was so wonderful, and the future, what's going to happen within the next few minutes. Who are you without the thought? I can't function. Just from there, look at the sky. Are there clouds? Is it stormy or is it sunshine? Is it cold? Just be there. Just be there. Look around. Honey, look around. Other than what you're thinking and believing, are you okay? That's a question. Check it out. Is the sky falling? No, honey, it's not in that situation.
And it's funny, in that situation, I am much happier than I'm in the kitchen with my parents, because in that situation, I don't have to worry about a job. I don't have to worry about what to do. I don't have to worry about emails that are requiring my attention and decisions to be made. I'm free as a bird.
Well, other than
Yeah.
just stay in line.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're free. You can run. They'll shoot or they won't. You're free. Free. You know, we make the best decisions when we're free. And freedom is not just a little thing, oh, I'm free in line. No, it leaves you to support others who are terrified. You could be one person, one sane human being that can hold space and understand and be there. Gosh, who wants to miss the last few moments of what could be the last few moments of their life? That's crazy. Oh, you know, Keith, can you turn off my phone from there, sweetie? I left it in the other room, and so I can't turn it off, but maybe you can do it, or you can tell me how to do it with my watch.
I'll call Stephen. We'll get it turned off.
Oh, thank you. It's like, oh my God, Keith, my phone's ringing and it's going to interrupt the program. And oh my, oh, you guys, I'm so sorry. That's on me. I forgot. Just standing in line, taking care of business. And if Keith can't do it, we can take a vote here to see, is it okay if I walk away for about 1.5 minutes, get my phone, turn it off, and come back? I'm guessing it'll be okay with everyone. And if not, we'll just all do this together. My phone ringing, anything less than that is crazy. And what do I call crazy, all of you? Living as though that future were now, being terrified like an innocent little victim. And when I say innocent little victim, we're like babies. We're just lost in this world of illusion. And I mean, what could be kinder than that? It's not ever happening. Don't believe me, those you new to the work today. Don't believe me, test it for yourself. I've got a 99-cent app with a worksheet on it. There are 3 worksheets there. 4 questions are there. Worksheet sounds like, oh God, something a lot of, no, it's just judge your neighbor, write it down, ask 4 questions, turn it around. That's it. But it is an exercise in stillness as you fill in the worksheet and sit in these questions. So I can't function, turn around in that situation in the kitchen. I can function. No one's stopping you. And boy, is that if you're not into winning and losing, if you're into just being awake and aware, part of what you can see is your parents' joy that you're living with some really good people. Some really good people. I'm not guessing. They're supporting you there through all that you describe that is so worrisome for you. Like your a job and moving out and all of that. In the meantime, they're just, there they are. There they are. And what do they get from you? The look. Yeah, it's like if there's a downer in the family, it's not them in that situation.
I guess I just wondered if I've been using the work too much as an excuse to avoid.
I would drop the I guess. And when you're using the work for anything, it would not be my work, this work. That would be guessing. we find a little freedom in the work, a little freedom, and then we just go on from there like, oh, I get it. Oh, I get it. Oh, I get it. Well, no, we don't. Sometimes we move it from our head to paper, then we get it if we're really meditating in those 4 questions. In other words, really serious about the answer that meet those questions within us. It takes very open mind and the love of truth. Not fake news, real deal from you, not the rest of the world. No one can cost you your freedom, but you, and that's innocent. No one's guilty. We're just asleep. And that's what makes it so beautiful, even though we're terrified. There is that immovable that I refer to as the heart, the immovable wisdom, immovable goodness. And the work takes us there. In other words, supports us out of the trance. And we don't think what I just said about it. We're freed up. But then as love would have it here in Earth School, the next thing comes in and the next thing comes in. A worksheet a day keeps hell away. And look at the energy that you spend on worry when you could be out just taking any job. It could be there are a lot of jobs that are going to happen to support other people. And that's where we're all at our best if we're not full of fear.
I don't think I can do enough
That's living
worksheets.
good. What, honey?
I don't think I can do enough worksheets to there is just
I know from experience. Do what I did. One belief at a time, one worksheet at a time. No more, just one. When that's done, just one worksheet at a time. Not 2, 1. And when that's done,
when life is
one worksheet at a time. The ego will just say, like, it's just another symbol of what you described originally. It's hopeless. There's it's like they're going to take you to hell, and something terrible is going to happen. And it just did in your head in that moment. So move that situation from your head and to paper and meditate in the 4 questions. My mind always goes, or not. This is Earth School. This is a gift. We don't have to do this. But, when we're fearful, we hurt people. Like, look at how you treated your dad in that situation. Did you give him the look, or did you, what? Look at you and how you react when you believe the thought in that situation. Gosh, we're an enemy of happiness in that situation. Now, I'm not into right or wrong or anything. It's just there's happiness there, and I'm in hell. And it's that's on me. That's all I'm saying.
It's just like I'm trying to build like more support into my life, get a job, and I just feel like I keep just falling back on the work.
Maybe your job is to get clear enough where nothing stops you from going out and get a job. I had a thought, get a job, and I just went out there. Like today, I picked up 2 really nasty pieces of paper and on the ground downtown on my morning walk. And people walk around that kind of thing. No, I've got a job. I picked it up, walked till there was a receptacle. I'm employed all the time, and I miss a lot of things. That's how I know it's not my job to take care of it. That way, everything it's manageable. My job is to have a happy life and hang out with people I love. And which happen to include the people that I love, happen to include the people I didn't love before the work found me.
Am I using it to stay in a situation that's too hard on me? Am I using it to avoid calls to action, like you have to blow the whistle, you have to take your story to government? No, thanks. I'd rather do the work and wait for clear mind.
No, you can.
No, but this is time sensitive.
I'm someone looking for a job, and it shows up everywhere. It shows up everywhere. Yeah, and I've heard that thing, like I'm in trouble if I don't turn in the people that I know about or love and care about, that may or may be suspect to know what citizenship. Okay, that's that's just not my gig. Only fear, only my fear, only my fear. Unless I was in agreement of something like that. And I don't know, it's just that I happen not to be so I guess they just have to take me away or whatever the penalty is. But it's okay, because what I'm thinking and believing is always going to be the cause of my fear. Because for all I know, the people taking me away are more fearful of not taking me away than I am of being taken away. You understand? Your fear is contagious. Your health is contagious. And again, this is nothing any of you have to do. But we're gonna do here in Earth School. It's just, what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? But fear is it's a trance. It's a trance. And I invite none of you to believe me, but to test it for yourself. Because this is not something I can give you or anyone can give you. This is only something you can give you. So self-inquiry isn't about saving your life or anything, or even to end fear. Just, it's for people with very open minds that want to be free from suffering. That's a way of saying free from fear. So that is so. So, sweetie, I think you're on to something, but the way your parents give to you, you expect it from everywhere. So while you've got a home and people that love and care about you, make it your job to get yourself squared away, because we're talking about, here you are on this program. So I feel free to share these things with you. Just take care of you, because your parents can't, and politics can't, and people with solutions can't, but you can. And get a facilitator that doesn't leave you with feel goods. And if you're not open to the question, then if you're open to the questions, call this person that made a difference in your life. But are they really in the 4 questions and turnarounds, or just trying to support you to feel better? And oh boy. Again, all of you, the helpline's free, and they care about your freedom because you live in them. Who they believe you to be is, they're very open to, they've done their work. And then that would leave you to do your work, and that would leave you to work with other people who are fearful. Because this thing, it's all about the money, and what is the money for? So they don't have to fear again. And then you have all the money in the world, and you're still fearful. So the thing that it's all about is just whack-a-doodle, whack-a-doodle, whack-a-doodle. You have it all, not enough. It is the ego sphere of death. That's what we're dealing with, the ego sphere of death. And it has a right to fear death because it's not a thing. It's a state of mind. It's not this, it's a state of mind. Just as you are. Thank you, honey. You are just so cool of you to sit in this with an open mind. And that, boy, just make that your job because you're good at that one.
I try. I love it. I just thought I had done enough, and then like a whole new batch of stuff came in. And
yeah, just say,
yeah.
okay, so you wait over there. I'm working with this one now. And they go, yeah, but me, just put that worksheet away, do this worksheet, do me. No, just thank you for sharing and love the one you're with. That
Okay.
worksheet you start. Sit in
I
that.
will.
Even if it takes you a week to get from 1 to 6 on that worksheet. Love the one you're with. And yeah, but this and this, and oh, this is much more important, and oh, this is really nothing. I get it. I'll do this worksheet over here. No, just love, this is the ego talking. It wants to move you away from its death of I. And what is ego? State of mind. And what can you do with that state of mind? For me, it is this work, and my ego found a home in my heart that it could trust and live in without the fear of being annihilated. It's where body and mind, not two, not even one. It's no need. It's free.
And is there any situation where we might just say, like, this is beyond my spiritual evolution, like I can't go this far, I need to leave this situation, or this is too much heat, I got to get out?
Well, when you have to get out, when you're walking out the door.
Great. Great.
So until then, you don't have to get out. Obviously, you're not out, you're not walking. You're too fearful. Your parents will back you. So, you're living with some good folk. They just have different, people see it differently. Yeah, it's like, I'm not happy till they agree with me, till they see it. Like, no, states of mind. And the ego offers up all kinds of reasons for, apparent valid reasons of why I'm right. And all together now, 1, 2, 3, war. War with the self, war with the world. War with the people we love and care about and live with, and war with the world. But it begins with war, the war with itself. The war doesn't, I can say it's an illusion, and that is 100% correct, but that's not helpful. What is that? What does that mean? So, judge your neighbor, write it down, ask more questions, and turn it around or not. It's an exercise in stillness. Thank you, honey, for speaking out for so many of us. Yeah. Okay, Andres.
Hello, Katie.
Hello,
Good
hello.
morning. So, I'm a little bit fearful to present this, so
Mm-hmm.
here we go.
Yeah, so honey, are you sure you don't want to do it with a facilitator? Because well, if you don't want this posted, I'm good with that too.
No, we're here. I'm fine.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay.
I'm resentful because my ex-wife has rejected me again.
So she and the situation.
Well, we're talking and like we we saw each other at this concert, and I'm kind of going over what we've lived in the last month or so, and I'm saying, hey, like, do you want to figure out if this can work or not? And she's like not having it, and every time she says that, I'm more, how do you say? I'm insisting more and more.
Okay, and you're at the concert. Are you standing or sitting?
Standing.
You're standing, and is there music in the background? Or
Yes, there is.
okay, and what is the noise level as the two of you were talking?
It's not that loud for being a concert. Like for some reason.
So you're comfortable. You don't have to raise your voices for this discussion.
Well, it's probably not the place to have that discussion. It's not in a coffee house or anything.
Well, the reason I'm asking is in a situation like that, focus is moved. Like you're
Right.
asking her a question. She came to hear the concert, so she's already split.
Right.
Also, you are costing her for what she paid to get into or made the time to get into that concert. And you're asking her serious questions, and she's there to have a good time.
Mhm.
And you're pulling her into and I don't know that this is the case, but I'm hearing,
Probably.
yeah, it's so when I say, anchor in that time and place, you're at the concert, and are there people around you?
Yes.
Okay. And you ask her if she wants to work on your relationship, and she rejected you again. Okay, with all the information we've just discussed, keeping in mind there's a concert going on that she wanted to attend. In other words, all the information be there now. You asked her if she wanted, if she wants to work on the relationship. She says no. She rejected you again. Is it true? She said no. Did I get that right?
She said, why would I?
Oh, that is so good. So and so she said, why would I?
Right.
So anchored there in that situation, concert, music, the question, and she said, why would I? She rejected you. Is it true?
No. She posted a question.
So just be with that. And by the way, you may be discovering right now, that was a really important question. Why would she?
Right.
It's a great opportunity for you. to meet that question with answers that are valid. Why would
Right.
she? She rejected you. Is it true?
She asked for me to question that back.
So she rejected you. Is it true? No. She met your question with an answer.
With a question?
With a response. Yes.
Right.
So she didn't say no.
She didn't.
Now notice how you react in that situation when you believe the thought. She rejected you again.
Well, I closed down. I feel rejected.
Yeah, but what does it look like when you feel rejected? To feel rejected, you have to.
Yeah, I feel used, victimized, anger, judgmental, resentful.
Yeah, now notice how that shows up when she says, why would I? Notice, look at you from her eyes when you're experiencing what you just described to us.
Well, up it is that like I double on it on the anxiety and the controlling, I guess. Like I double down on wanting the answer I want to not feel rejected.
And what does that look like? She says, why would I? And you're thinking, she rejected me again. She's rejecting me again. Now, what you described, like, look, you're answering the question, why would she?
I'm answering?
Yeah, your response and attitude, what you just shared, you're answering the question. She says, why would I? And you're giving her the answer with your attitude, your
Right.
disappointment. I mean, she's at a concert. She looks at you and it's like, oh,
This is okay.
Concert him.
Right.
I mean, there you are, just not taking it well, and she knows you.
Not at all. At all.
Okay, so she's rejecting me again. Okay, and your question was, you asked her, does she want to work on the relationship? You're believing she rejected you again. Now, who would you be without the thought when she says, when you say, I want her to work on the relationship? I want you to work on, do you want to work on the relationship? Who would you be without the thought she's rejecting me? Listen to her question, why would I? Who would you be without the thought she's rejecting me? Listen to the music, look at her, look at that woman you love. Without the thought she's rejecting me again. She's asking you a simple question. Who would you be without the thought she's rejecting me again?
Could let her be.
Again.
So I could let her be. and I could appreciate her and not insist in something different. And I could see her and I could see myself.
And you could hear her question, why would she? So answer it now. Why would she want to work on it with you again? Why would she? You're giving her every reason in that situation why she wouldn't.
Right.
Now get sane. In other words, who would you be without the thought, she's rejecting me again? That is to get sane. Now just be in that situation without the thought, she's rejecting me, and answer the question, her question, why would she? Work on that relationship to be with you again.
I have no answer, I guess. Like, I
Honey,
don't know.
but you expect her to know what you don't know? Now, honey, what are your qualities? Number one, you love her.
Right.
I'm assuming that. Okay, that's one.
Well, I love her. I'm
Look at your qualities. Some of us have really hard time owning our qualities. Look at your quality as a husband, or were you married?
Yeah.
Look at your qualities as as a man, as
I'm
a good man.
I'm a good father. I'm a good provider. I'm in my capacity. I'm there for her. I went there to look for her, basically. And I did the best that I could to do that.
That may not be what she's looking for, the last example.
Right.
She goes to a concert to have a good time, and then you show up wanting
Right.
to know, do you want to work on the relationship?
So I'm loyal. I'm loving. What's other? Like, I'm still there. Like, after all this time, I'm still willing. And I guess
Willing, or do you still love her?
I still love her.
Yeah, so see, there's a really good reason. Keith, honey, my thing just won't stop flipping out. Now I'm hitting the little green page at the bottom again, and then the two black things pop up, the screens. I'm hitting the one on the left, and it gives me what I'm looking for. No, it just popped out again. Okay, now it's giving me what I need on my thing, but now it popped out again. So what do I do, sweetie?
I'm on my way. I'm not sure what's happening. Yep.
It has to do with those three little dots at the top. Is that
It doesn't sound like it.
okay? Okay, so we'll just keep doing what we're doing. So she said, why would I? I love, if it's true, providing for you. I'm a good father. I love you. Anything else?
I'm willing to work at it.
I'm willing to work at it. Anything else?
Yeah, I guess the willing to work at it is really, like, I know I'm
Yeah.
messed up and to work at it for.
Okay. And what is the it you're willing to, what does that look
Well,
like?
I guess, like, the controlling issue, like that moment is a big example of it.
Okay, so I'm willing to work on my control issues. Do I have that?
Right.
Okay, now I think you're onto something. When she says, "Why would I?" So that's something you can address, sweetheart. You can address that. You can address it. It's evident, that could be the big one.
Is that like a worksheet I should do on myself and that?
The more worksheets you do, the less fear you're gonna have, which leave no need to control. Control issues are all about fear. If I'm trying to control someone, it's like I'm fearful of what's going to happen if I lose control. It's like a competition. I want to be my own.
And it's never enough. It's always. So any worksheet I do on any issue, it's gonna go.
Yeah, like how do you react when you believe the thought? On control issues. I'm right, you're wrong. This is the best, your opinion doesn't top my opinion. I'm right. Every time you step into a worksheet and get to how do I react when I believe the thought in that situation with her, you're going to see specifically your control issues, what you say, what you do, your attitude. Everything you get to see what she's been living with, and,
Right.
and you see it yourself, because when you're in doing that control thing, you're really standing in a good man's position. I mean, you have all kinds of reasons why you're doing it, but then there's the other person. And you have to override that. That's a control issue. It's really something these worksheets can really give you, how to notice when you're threatened, how you react when you believe the thought. You move into control issues and then you validate them. The ego gives you a reason why you're right, even though it hurts you more than it hurts me, probably. I'm right, you're wrong.
And that's the how do I feel all the time, right? When I believe.
When there's a difference of opinion.
Right. And that would be a judgment, basically. If I'm judging someone, it's because there's a difference of opinion.
This isn't something that I figure out. This is something that shows up when I'm doing my work. Now, notice how you react when you believe the thought, she rejected me again. Be there now. And look at your attitude shift. It's like you just shut down?
No, enraged. I
Rage.
built up.
Yeah. You believe the thought, she rejected me again, and then the rage comes up. And where does that rage come from? It's like all the the providing and all of it is to compensate for what you can't give her. And that what you can't give her yet is to take care of your control issues. So let's continue. And you can see specifically. Oh, I think Keith's here. So here, sweetie, it hasn't popped since I said, and it'll probably pop again. So let's look at number 2 in that situation. What do you want? And Keith, you're an ace. Thanks. Oh, you're going to wait till, okay, so just be comfy.
I want her to be with me, to be my partner.
Okay. She just said, why would I? You want to be with her. Is it true? Even though she's the mother of your child. This is about you. You want to be with her. You may be someone that just thinks it's the right thing to do, and that's not right or wrong. It's just that you want to be with her. Is it true?
No.
If you could, wow. Yeah, she brings up your control issues, and that's really painful. You take care of your control issues, and wow, honey. Maybe it's not her you end up with, but you take care of your control issues and you'll like the man you live with. We don't have to have control to make change in the world. So she said, I want her to be with me. Is it true? I hear your no. To just be with that. No, you're asking her for something you don't even want. Because you're a good man, we think that's what good men do, and we've got control issues. One reason you might not want to be with her is you haven't taken care of them yet. And you're just going to take it to the next relationship anyway. That's how that is. So you want her to be with you again. Is it true? I hear your no. Are you still there?
Yes. I don't really see her and appreciate her. Yeah. I don't really see her.
You know, what I see happening is you're becoming a really good friend, but you don't want to be with her. And that certainly makes great parenting for two people that are raising the same child and end up with different partners. It leaves you free to care about her, parent, and meet other people that you could potentially really care about. But to my mind, it won't last long with your control issues unless you both just love the passion that arises, I'm right, no, you're right, and you're wrong. Some people love to throw things and then, it can be chaos bliss.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have to, live with guilt. So it doesn't work in the long run. Okay, because guilt, oh boy, and I could talk a lot about that, but we all know what that is, what guilt feels like. I want her to be with me. Now, who would you be without that thought when she says, why would I? So just be at that concert. She said, why would I? Who would you be without the thought, I want to be with her? You're more enlightened now. You don't want to be with her. So
start seeing her and listening to what she's really saying and inquire about a reason for both, I guess.
Don't guess, this is...
I could start seeing her and listening without my story. I could be present and inquire into why would we, instead of just believing that story that I want her to be with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you feel the connection. See how you're not separate. It's like there's some connection going on. She's asking the question, and you're really getting in touch
Listening.
as you contemplate her question. That's listening.
I wouldn't be defensive or controlling. I could be unburdened of that belief and set it down.
Yeah, look at the two and hear the music and be at the concert. That's a really good question. I'm going to look into that. Wow. You're really growing me and boy, we've had a good run and we've got a great kid. And consider, I'll consider, why would you? When I look at my control issues and you see how it's, let's look at 3. Let's go to 3. And that situation to get what you want, which is you want her back. Well, you don't, but you thought you did. What advice would you offer her in that state of mind when you want her to be your partner?
Well, she should prioritize her family.
Is that true? It assumes that she's not.
Right, it's not true.
She is prioritizing her family. She has you in one category. She looks back at someone who has, she doesn't win a lot with. He doesn't listen a lot to her. He controls somewhat. She should prioritize her family. Turned around, I should.
I should prioritize my family.
Yeah. She'll be your family as long as she lives as the mother of your child. If you never see her again, if you ever have opportunity, yeah, she's the mother of your child.
Right.
Oh my goodness. I divorced my children's father, and God, there's no one I know that would not have agreed with me and they did agree with me. Oh my gosh. And then this work found me. Oh, the grief I experienced. He was not who I believed him to be. And what that gave me was him back into my life. So now we were a family again, even though I was married to someone else. And he died last year, and we all grieved together. He's my beloved, the father of my children. They don't have to be careful about the way they talk about him or loved him or got angry with him, and be sensitive around mom. We all loved him equally and still do. And that's just not going to change. Family. She should prioritize her family. Turned around, I should.
I should prioritize my family.
And begin in the situation. She asks a question, she's at the concert, and if she, and it leaves you to get back to her with your list of why she wouldn't. and don't make it anything that isn't authentic from you. Don't take the list on like you're a bad guy, because you're not. We all have issues. We all have that in common. But just what you can own, like number one, you have control issues. So you can understand why she might not want to be,
Right.
and why she might not want your child to be with you as much as you really deserve. But she doesn't want control issues lashed onto him.
No, that's not an issue. Like, yeah,
Okay. So she should prioritize her family. I should.
I should.
She should prioritize me as her family.
She should prioritize me as her family.
Okay, so a turnaround like that just doesn't work for me, because that is who she prioritizes in her life. That is not my business. I have no
Right.
control over that. I just need to prioritize my family. And that way we live as examples that no one has to benefit from. It's just to live what I want others to live. But this is for me and my own happiness. What the world may benefit from in me is not anywhere in what I live. I just live doing the right thing for me, and
Yeah.
as it happens, people benefit around me.
So I should prioritize me in the sense as I should look into my issues that are holding me back.
Yeah, and if you want to be in touch with those, you could ask her to make a list. You know, what is it about me that you least appreciate in our relationship? And then she'll give you she'll maybe send you the list, and it'll give you some excellent worksheets to do on her. And then notice how you react when you believe the thought, just like we're doing here. Oh, Keith is going to love this. He left, and so it starts flipping again. Oh, so Patrice, send Keith back, honey, when he gets there. Okay, so she should prioritize her family. I should prioritize my family, and she should not prioritize her family, meaning including me, even though she probably will.
Yeah, because that's her business. However she does it, it's not mine, right?
Yeah, if she's throwing a birthday party for your child, it doesn't mean she has to invite you. She's throwing the party. She gets the guest list.
Right.
Until the child's old enough to make their own guest list. Okay, honey, let's look at 4. So in that situation, what do you need her to think, say, feel, or do for you to be happy?
I need her to accept me.
Is it true? Be there in the concert with her in that situation, anchor there. To be happy, you need her to accept you. Is it true?
No.
Listen to the music. Just look at the people around you. To be happy, you need her to accept you. Is it true?
No.
So just be there. No, your happiness does not depend on any other human being. No one can. Why? Because no one can give us that. As close to joy that the ego gets is it gets what it thinks it wants, and then there's no end to it. It seems.
Yeah.
I need her to accept me, turn around. I need me to accept her.
need to accept her.
no matter what her choices are as far as partners.
Right.
That's a big one. That's the end of jealousy or hurt or pain. To be happy for her, the happier she is, the better off your child.
Right. And the freer I'm too.
To live again, have a full life again. And you're not losing her. You know, my ex-husband is married and he's dying in his in his home with his wife and stepkids and all three of his kids, and they one of my kids called me and as he's dying and puts the phone there, and I said, oh hello honey, oh hello, and he said, I love you so much, and I've always loved you, and I always will. And for him, that's no one changed but me. And in turn, that shifted. It shifts families. We don't have to live with someone to love them and respect them and admire them for those things that we authentically love and admire. Oh, and I could say so much more. Let's look at 5.
She is self-centered.
In that situation, is it true? She said, why would I? And you didn't even hear the question, that the question required an honest answer. You know, and how could you? You don't, you know, it's where you were at the time. She's self-centered. Be there now. Is it true?
No,
Oh, how did you see that?
because I'm the one interfering. Like I'm the one out of sorts. And yeah, like everybody's dancing and looking at the performers, and I'm the only one pressing my self agenda and my issues.
You're concert-centered and you're self-centered.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not hearing what she's saying either. Like, so yeah, I am self-centered. She's not.
You're self-centered in that situation.
That situation. I am
You think I'm selfish and it's like forever, and no, in that situation, when you get that, you can see that you're not always self-centered, that it's a sometimes.
right.
I mean, the way you have supported your family and been a good husband. This is just, and you know, this is, we're just looking at the sometimes, and those sometimes are they're big deal. She's self-centered in that situation, turned around. I am
self-centered in that situation.
So in that situation, she is self-centered. No, she's concert-centered.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll let you see that the way you do, because I'm sitting in. Am I No, I'm at the concert. That was my decision, and then you came in. So yeah, I'm
right.
Concert-centered. Okay, but I did give you a good question to work with. Why would I?
Right.
That's, oh boy, what a gift. Such an honest question. So let's look at 6. So far, so good. It only happens when you're gone, Keith. Okay, so let's look at 6. What is it you never want to experience again?
Her rejection.
She rejected you. Is it true?
No.
She asked you a question. And then your head did all the rest. It took control. And then it blamed her. It's confusion. And some of these things you can share with her. You know, meaning, you know, I apologize for approaching you at the concert when you were there to enjoy it. And what I appreciated is that you were kind enough, you know, to give me a question I've been working with, and I'm really grateful for that.
Right.
That's what I call living turnarounds. Self-realization until it's lived. It's like Zippo. Just, you know, we're wiser, but until we live it out, it's not embodied the way the ego can live in itself out of the, you know, take in the enlightened mind until it's so clear and bright that you can't even, it's like the ego's unrecognizable because you're just loving what is. It's simple, loving what is your life. So I'm looking forward to, I don't ever want her to reject me again. I'm looking forward to
her rejection. I'm looking forward to her rejection.
Looking forward to her rejecting me again. Use your words, the ones on paper. Every word valuable.
Looking forward for her to reject me again.
Good. Okay. So yeah, because that little pumpkin can give you some worksheets.
Right.
And if you never saw her again, living with her in the length of time you live with her, she has given you a lot of worksheets.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're all in you. Honey, you are one courageous, open-minded dear.
Thank you.
Wow. Wow, I'm just let's hear from Anna, takeaway. And Andre, thank you for being our teacher today. I'm just really moved. Anna.
Thank you.
Hi, sweetie. Oh, your sound. Oh, no sound. We'll go to Ellen while you work on your sound, honey. Ellen.
Hi, thank you.
Ellen,
I noticed without, I just noticed that I laughed a lot. And, you know, and what it basically came to me is like, if it wasn't so painful, it becomes so funny.
Yeah, it's like we do these worksheets out of pain, and then we go,
Yeah, and of course I
I get
feel the
it.
pain too for the other person, as in like, oh, how awful. But if you, with the work, you just take such a massive distance.
Yeah.
And then it becomes, you can just feel the whole worksheet crumble as you go along. And so I will, sit with that a little bit more, with the hilariousness in it, in a way, as in, oh, what do we do to ourselves with my own worksheet too?
Yeah, and it shows up there, and we can't change what we're unaware of.
Yeah.
And then we do a worksheet, and awareness happens, and shifts take place automatically because we're
Yeah.
awake.
And
to
then
re-
you actually can see the other person so well.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, of course she or he wasn't gonna, say yes to me, or
That was
yeah.
such a good worksheet. I loved it. Of course, I love them all, but that was, the last one is always my favorite.
Yeah, to be willing to experience. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
So,
So, not laughing at it because it's all so painful and so hurtful. But
yeah,
with that, the work creates the distance, and with that
yeah,
space for some
it does.
lightness, I guess,
And
the
yeah,
lightness to bring that into it.
yeah, we come back, we come out of a worksheet with self-awareness, but we can't. Yeah, and we can laugh and we're more aware, and then we live these turnarounds to keep
Yeah,
it fresh.
yeah,
Oh, thank you, honey. Bill.
yeah. Thank you so much.
Uh,
Hi, guys. I just want to really to acknowledge Andre and what he's been going through. It's so familiar, and what I mean by that, it took me 20 years into my fourth marriage to begin to get a handle on this syndrome, on this wanting to be somebody in my marriage. And when, by the grace of God, I began to get that handle on it and was willing to let go of those things that filled up my worksheet, that death of somebody was just like what seemed to be so difficult. Now it's like it's so easy. It's a little bit hyperbole. It's not always easy, right? It's not always easy.
yeah,
But
but the things that used to be really difficult, some of them are just like even laughable. Like they get
exactly.
on ease to, oh my gosh.
Exactly. So I'm so, what's the word, like proud of Andre that he wants to do the worksheet and he wants to see you and he wants to get to the bottom of this, because it
Powerful.
really, it just gets easy.
Yeah. And all of you out there, if you think you need me to do a worksheet, just remember Andre. The answers came from him, and it was wonderful for me, the two of us sitting in it, and all of us together. But oh boy, it's nothing, boy, to be alone in it. He sure gave us a look into how to focus there and be authentically honest.
Yeah.
Lori, thank you, Bill.
Yeah.
Lori.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
The takeaway was actually for, is it Namet, for your first person? Your work has helped me so very much not be a terrorist in my own mind.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear
And
that. It's just
I
a kinder world that way.
I mean, life-changing, because I would worry about so many things, from political stuff to World War III. I mean, anything
Yeah.
that, and that's how my mind just worked. And I was listening to one of your podcasts, And that piece of gold is so applicable to so many situations. And especially right now, I think if Nemeth could share that with people, or, I mean, I just wanted to say thank you for that. And that has, whenever I start to really get anxious about something or some situation that's out of my control, it's future, past future, that I have a lot, I hear your voice in my head, and I hear that you're just being a terrorist in your mind. And like the other woman that just on, it's laughable. It becomes laughable. And then that quiet just lets us be free. So thank you.
Thank you for expressing all of that. With Nemeth's work today too, and listening to you, it is her father just elated, hands in the air, the election went his way, and then she's fearful and let's say does a worksheet, and then it all shifts. And that connection with your family happens again. And we watch that somewhat, that shift.
Yeah. I saw it in her.
Yes. And
Yeah.
so worksheets, the way they happen, and let's say everything she feared came to be. She doesn't have to say to her father, I told you so. That's, it's all your fault. You made this happen. You're just all of that. She's got clearly people who can love each other. Her mind can be open to it. After this worksheet, I don't even have the words for it, but we can comfort as opposed to be comforted. And we're comforted when we're comforting others.
Man.
We're comforting others
Mm.
when we're living out of wisdom. That's just a duh.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
anything less than that is separation. And it's, if things go exactly the way she feared,
Then she's right.
we're different. Yeah, but it's a separator, but it didn't happen then. It happened originally with what we looked at today.
Yeah. And then just one other thing too, is what it brought up for me too, is that do you want to be right or do you want to be free?
Oh,
And I love that with you. And what that I learned from you. So
it's like, if you had to make a choice, would you rather be right or free?
free.
Oh,
Amen.
honey. Oh,
That's
yeah.
wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. I won't take any more of your time.
Oh, honey. Oh, it's just a pleasure. Lori.
Thank
On Clyde. Hey, Clyde. Oh, your sound, sweetie. Your sound.
How about now? Is that better?
That's it.
All right, I'm glad. First of all, let me thank you for growing through what you've gone through to present to us, to be the truest version of who it is that we really are, and for the people who actually came on and spoke. So with that being said, my man Andre, that's the name, and the young lady that came on first, it made me stop and look and see, can I celebrate somebody else's win without denying my own win? That's the first thing. Can I use it as a reflection to look at me and see how I'm judging and how that judgment prevents me from that exuberant feeling? I want to feel good. I want to feel great.
Yeah, and love is what gives us that. It's feeling good is the absence of suffering.
Exactly. And to know that that's a possibility for you and for everyone else.
Yeah.
And let me go to Andre real quick. My man, speaking as a divorced man and understanding and reflecting who it is that I am and who was I when I first went into that relationship? Who was it that I was as I was going through it? And who was it as I was at the end of it? And did I grow? Did I learn? Did I keep the fingers pointed out, knowing there was 3 fingers pointing back at me? And today, the reminder of that saying, hey, before you can judge somebody else, take that big giant beam that's out your own eye first. And to stand and say, not even realizing my control. Am I in control or am I controlling? And oftentimes when we get to that state, it's really about that fear. So I had to ask myself the same question. What fears did I really have that I was from in my ego? So again, for you standing up and saying that, I commend you. Whether or not it's all done or not, we're a work in progress. It takes time.
For true. Oh, I love Earth School so much. You know, we're here in a kind of paradise. There's only one problem. What are we thinking and believing here? And to wake up to reality is to have the freedom to just serve others that aren't quite there yet, without even speaking a word, just to necessarily, but just to live it. Clyde, thank you, honey. Thank you for
Thank
your
you.
wisdom and your experience. You know a little something because you've been a few places.
Thank you. I appreciate the time. And Andre, keep
Thank you.
growing, man. Keep growing. See
Thank
y'all.
Adorn. Hey, Adorn. Is that how you say your name, honey?
Yes, it's Adorn.
Again?
Adorn, yeah.
Adorn, hi.
Yeah. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Hi. Yes, so I'm glad to attend this session. So far, my takeaways, I think mainly there are 2. Number 1, I think I can relate to, is that Andres or Andreas? Okay. I can relate that sometimes also I have got that character of controlling. So I think what has come clear to me is that any control, it's out of fear. And now another point that came clearly in relation to fear it's like living something that will go wrong in the future, living it now. And then I was asking myself, what could be the opposite of fear? So I discovered that the opposite of fear could be faith. And then faith is living the better future, living it now. So what came into my mind was that I have a choice to live a fear-based life and or faith-based life. But that almost to a great extent depends on fear-driven thoughts or faith-driven thoughts. So that's what came clear to my mind as I was listening. Yeah. I think there is another part that also came clear to me was, I think should be Kate when was sharing, she was about to cry. And then during the process, there were also some moments of laughing, moments of smiling, and moments of shifting in the mood. So what came into my mind was, what's making her to change in the mood? So then I realized that when we are changing the thoughts, how we think, then we are also changing how we feel. So that gives me a great insight to say that we are responsible for our own happiness, but also responsible for our own misery by simply choosing the type of thoughts that we think. So that's something so amazing to me. Thank you for that great work. Continue doing this great work, please.
Oh, honey, that's so sweet. Thank you so much. Oh gosh, what a crew we are. Anna.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, honey.
Oh, great. Hello, everyone. Andres, I'm so grateful for your work today. Oh my God. Rejection is one of the most topic I work on for the last month. And what I loved about your work was when you ask yourself, is it true that you want to be with her? And it was just no. And
Wasn't that extraordinary?
and you weren't even surprised. I was like,
Right. We could find all our lives to be with someone and not realize, oh my gosh.
yes.
know.
And I could so relate to it because I sometimes discovered it in my rejection work too, that I turn where I feel rejection, I turn to it because there's something that I have to change it. Everyone needs to love me, or this person has to love me. Rejection cannot be. And I don't ask myself if I want that. Because and it struck me and I loved it, and I'm so glad that you shared it. Thank you so much for your courage. It meant
And
a lot.
and wasn't he courage? The courage and the transparency. I think it just blew all of us.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the transparency that he exhibited.
And with the controlling thing, you're totally not alone.
Yeah.
I
Oh, thank
love you so much, everyone. I love this community. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Okay, dears. Andres and Nimit, thank you for being our teachers today and for enlightening all of us and with your courage and your open, selfless minds. Oh boy, so good. And thanks to your contributions, our plan is to be back here every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So see you tomorrow. I love you tomorrow.